Hello and welcome to Movie of the Year, the only podcast on the internet that has the science and the screaming. Mike, demonstrate science.
Yes, you'll see if you carry the two and add the equilibrium.
Greg screaming.
Ah!
I told you we have it both, and we do. To determine what is the single greatest movie of any given year, and right now the given year is 1982. Last week we kicked out 32 quality films. All of them made by important directors with important budgets and important lines of dialogue. All of them had butts, I'm sure. But those movies were all destined to fail. This is where it really comes down because we are going to choose the 8 movies that are going to come together to determine what is our movie of 1982. Guys, we have to get started. We have so much to do. But is there? Are you bummed out so far about any of these titles that are gone?
I'm a little bummed that Slumber Party Massacre isn't on here.
Okay.
Out of all of the horror movies that are not the big two that we knew were going to go the distance, I thought that might be the one to be able to go the distance.
The Steve Martin Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Yeah.
That sounded interesting to me. I'm sad to miss that.
Those might become bonus shows, ineligible for the actual trophy at the end of the season. But who knows? Steve Martin, Best Actor.
Probably, yeah.
Slumbura, Best Actress.
Probably.
We don't know yet. I just want to get started. You guys want to get started?
Let's
just
jump
fucking
in, dude.
dive in.
We're supposed to take a break, but I want to let's just.
Normally we jerk off and we're like, oh, piss smells like farts. Whoa, I guess we should take a break.
Mike, you have to go to the doctor.
Seriously, man. See a specialist.
You have to get
It's
out.
so sulfuric every time I
No, piss does not smell like farts, bud.
Every time you pee, it smells like Nightcrawler bamfed into the room and took a dump.
I do scream BAMP because it hurts so bad every time I start peeing.
You have a condition called stinky dick, okay? And you have to get that looked at.
Great dance, terrible dick. That's our number 1 seed is Blade Runner. Now, do you guys remember number 32 seed, One from the Heart? This is the movie that ruined the greatest director of our time, maybe, or maybe just before it.
The Wine Man.
He made Godfather Part 2, Apocalypse Now, and One from the Heart. Is that enough to get us to watch it over Blade Runner?
Nope.
Didn't he do Jack?
He also directed Jack. He also directed The Rainmaker with Matt Damon.
Yeah, he'll
One
take chances.
from the Heart. I want to know what broke this guy's brain. And my vote is One from the Heart.
I'm guessing that he was like, to be a real director, I'm going to have to make different types of pictures. And a musical is a type of picture.
So Mike has voted for One from the Heart. Now I can vote for One from the Heart, and Blade Runner is kicked out in the second round.
That's
Mike.
true. That's the kind of
And at this
shenanigans that could go on.
Ineligible for bonus episodes, a rule I just made right now.
We will never discuss Blade Runner on the 1982 season of Movie of the Year.
I'm honestly like, I think we might pick 4 movies and then 4 versions of Blade Runner, and those are our 8.
You got to get the most recent director's cut is the best version of Blade Runner. There is no unnecessary voiceover that Harrison Ford sounds like he's making a hostage video when he does.
I don't know. Then like maybe I'm a robot.
I'm a robot, I guess.
This one's definitely a robot.
I'm eating
She's
some
Rachel.
noodles. He just starts narrating what's going on.
I got the hots for her. Am I done yet? Can I leave? No? I'm going to fly my plane into a golf course.
I'm just flying in my space car. I've been working on my Nick Nolte impression. Is that a Blade Runner? That's a Blade Runner. Blade Runner moves on. Your number 16 seed is, of course, the aforementioned. All of these are aforementioned if you listen to last week's episode. It's Grease 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's Mike's childhood versus The Dark Crystal, which Greg declared was nobody's childhood.
Nobody in this room.
But I wanted to sign up for it. It's got to be Dark Crystal.
No, it
gotta be
sucks,
Dark
dude.
Crystal.
It's so boring and awful.
Are you talking about Grease 2, bud?
No.
Is that what you're doing, huh?
It's not boring and awful.
Is it
It's
opposite day?
No, I'm not some sort of bizarro on a square earth, Greg.
Dark Crystal is what are we talking? We talked so much about like the things that frighten us as children. The Dark Crystal villains have to be on that list. The Skeksis. The sexy Skeksis are horrifying.
Sexy, skexy, pretty little thing. It's what Butterfly was about.
We're going on this particular one. We're going from 32 down to 16 in this round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's to say Dark Crystal and not worry about it.
Yeah. There's no fucking way Grease 2 is moving on.
Don't worry, it's on the bonus list.
In fact, I've erased all the other ones on the bonus list.
It is the bonus episode, doing it 8 times.
Who's more capable of stealing our heart? A fucking ginger curly orphan, which is basically like if me and Greg had a baby.
Yeah, dude.
Or Dustin Hoffman putting a dress on and showing the world what's up.
Oh,
it's Tootsie versus Annie.
It's gotta be Tootsie. Annie, I don't even feel that bad about it. It was not going to be that much fun to talk about that.
I've never seen any version of Annie, and I want that streak to continue.
That's so fucking weird. That is the exact opposite the way I've lived my life.
Imagine like a little girl sassing everybody a lot, but you're kind of on her side because you're like, well, what else is she supposed to do?
What if Hit Girl,
a curly-haired little orphan red-haired girl?
Hit Girl from Kick-Ass had red hair.
But it did remind us that the sun will come out tomorrow.
Which is not always true.
That
because
you're never
cloudy days, 2, world could explode.
If we're lucky.
It also reminded us that you're never fully dressed without a smile. So right now, you're both naked.
Ooh, provocative.
I do better at podcasts if I imagine everyone I'm doing them with naked the entire time. Number 9 seed is Das Boot, a cinematic classic going up against Arnold Schwarzenegger. And yeah, I'm using his name instead of the director's. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, see, I when you look at the list of movies, you see Conan and you're like, that's going to be so fun when we watch that. You're not going to watch Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
There's only 8 movies, and that's obviously not going to be one of them, idiot. You can watch it on your own if you want. No, thank you, but you could.
I don't like how you're looking me right in the eye, Greg.
Boot.
Mike.
Much like the Australians crying for justice, I want the boot.
It's Conan. Fuck submarines.
All right, Das Boot moves on. Mike has clearly made himself an enemy of the podcast.
He's a little stinker. He's wearing a shirt that says, I'm being a little stinker.
I'll let you guys know what kind of mood I am based on my T-shirt.
Who scares you the most? Is a little girl saying, they're here? Or is it a bunch of mice going through absolute hell because of NIMH?
Oh.
The National Institute for Mental Health.
For Mouse Hunt?
For Mouse Hunt.
Well, that would scare mice. I think we have to go the Craig T. Nelson route.
The Secrets of NIMH is pretty dark and depressing. I honestly think like you'll probably come out of Poltergeist being in a better mood than the Secrets of NIMH.
Can we start a new bonus list without any of the trash that Mike already put on it and just start with the Secret of NIMH?
And then go from there. No matter what, we're just going to get a big sheet of paper that says Grease 2 on it.
So you're saying you don't want to do Smithereens, which is also on my list?
What's Smithereens about, Mike?
Oh, fucking punk shit.
It's punks like being like, oi,
oi, oi, oi.
anarchy in the UK.
All right, gentlemen, throw down your nerd cards. Do you want to go to a Tron Con or do you want to Scream Con?
Scream Con because I love the movie Scream,
Nope,
but also
okay. That was confusing. I apologize.
That was
Yes.
confusing.
Do you want
That
to
was
Scream
confusing.
Con to the
Yes.
heavens as opposed to going to a convention that celebrates this?
I want to go to the Montalban Con.
Oh, man, this whole time I was like, what movie is this? Why can't I figure it out? And what's the first one again?
It's Tron versus... you know what? I'm going to do a better job hosting, Greg.
Man, they
Fucking
say if your
note-taking.
panelists are confused, your listeners definitely understand what's going on.
I definitely... Star Trek 2. Like, I thank you, Tron, for your service in the last round. Tron's so boring.
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
I don't think we could get through it.
The only reason I'm leaning Tron is because Star Trek 2 came out on video in, like, a VHS-shaped box, but Tron was in a clamshell, the big white plastic box.
Yeah.
And I do like me some
That's
that.
very classy. It's Wrath of Khan is one of the good Star Trek movies. I hope we get to watch it, Ryan, because you're going to be like, that was one of the good fucking Star Trek movies. And it'll be like, yeah, dude, that's just what it was like.
I've seen a couple I liked. I really liked the third one that what's his name from Shaun of the Dead?
Simon Pegg.
Oh, yeah.
Simon Pegg was all like in charge of.
Oh, yeah, the remakes have been fun.
Because it wasn't a big deal. It was just like one little mission.
Yes.
I thought that was cool.
It was the
Yeah,
closest
not-
to being an episode.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be the whole fate of the entire universe. That's what almost every single one of those movies messed up on.
And then remember before the remakes, towards the end, where William Shatner and Picard were all the same thing. Like, what are we doing?
Generations. I fucking
dude.
love Generations. And Malcolm McDowell was the bad guy.
Yes.
It was dope as hell.
And his plan was to launch a missile into the sun. When I heard that when I was a kid, I was like, well, who cares?
Yeah,
The sun will
that's a good way to
just-
waste a missile.
Yeah.
Sun wins. Rock,
Good
paper,
luck to
scissors,
your
missile.
Stupid missile. And the movie assured me that it was a big deal, and I was like, it's just not, though. You can just shoot at the sun all day.
I do it. They call me Cowboy Dan.
I've only heard, like, I've Star Trek 2 has, for my entire life, been called the best Star Trek movie. Maybe the only good one. I know fans, I know that there's fans of Tron, but nobody's ever said it was good. You know, it's like Harry
literally
Potter.
nobody has ever said that movie's good.
So, Star Trek 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
God, to give you guys a Star Trek movie on this show is going to
It's going to get smoked in the next round. It's
No,
not going to even have a chance.
Number 37 seed with the upset is Missing. Jack Lemmon as Mel Gibson from Ransom. It's going up against the number 5 seed, Rambo First Blood.
Oh.
I'd legit rather watch Missing based on the so little I know about it.
There's not anybody on this show who wants to watch First Blood over Missing.
It's
so then the question
movie. It's a lot like Mike's dick and penis.
It's
my dick and my penis.
It's also Tron level boring. Like
it's just
do we have to?
Seed.
Is this just homework?
Is it so important?
Is it so important? What it gave birth to the Rambo series? Or do we feel
I guess
bad? Like
has a long enough time, and the last Rambo was about him just killing Mexicans at the border, so we can just say, you know what, put this whole series to bed.
He fucking drove his pickup truck, put a lawn chair on the border, and just sat down with a machine gun and killed Mexicans. Is that the kind of movie we want to watch?
Missing.
It kind of feels wrong though, right?
It does. It feels
so wrong, so right.
The 5th seed, that's a hell of an upset.
It's so boring though. It's so boring. It's not even boring in the way that's like, well, you know, it's a real slow burn about what happens to vets when they get home. It's not boring in that way. It's just boring.
Think about this. It will win. It will definitely not win the movie of the year. It will win 0 Moody's.
Yeah.
And if we cut it out now, it won't even be a bonus show. I'm calling a vote. Mike, what are you going for?
I love Jack Lemmon, man.
I do too.
He's my favorite superhero.
He just has the powers of
of a lemon.
One Jack Lemmon.
So that's your vote, or
it's Missing.
Greg?
Whatever, Missing. I don't want to watch the Rambo movie, so I'm not going to make myself just so that we can then come in and be like, yeah, we didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have an hour and a half to fill because every episode has to be longer than the movie that we watched. Your number 12 seed is Fitzcarraldo. This is the Werner Herzog movie about
the boats.
Boat moving.
Boats and hills.
Your number 21 seed is Gandhi. Part of me, half of me thinks that, like, Gandhi should make it close, but I don't fucking care.
I'd rather watch
Not
the
about
Boats
the
and Hills
man. I'm sure
movie.
the man was great, right? He was.
Fuck him.
He had some troublesome elements of his personal life, maybe, and some reactionary thoughts about gender. But I think, by and large, we can argue that Gandhi's a good figure.
Could we? If we just watch UHF, we could watch Gandhi 2 and Conan the Librarian and cancel both those movies out.
If we throw Gandhi out, this might be my last opportunity to say that because of a error in coding in the game Civilization, Gandhi, who should be the most peaceful person, would always become the most bellicose, and almost every game of Civilization ends with Gandhi nuking at least one other nation, and that's hilarious.
If you live long enough, you become the nuke meister.
It's because he's given an aggression score of 0 because it's Gandhi, and then if anything happens to make him less aggressive because of a coding error, his aggression goes up to 9 instead of going like down to -1. It goes to 9, and he becomes the most aggressive person in the game. And it's so funny to have Gandhi come over and be like, "Nice country here. It'd be a shame if somebody nuked the hell out of it." He's a lot like the modern day Russians, just like constantly saying he's going to nuke everyone who disagrees with him.
I'm so glad that you said that because I can't imagine you on your drive home from the studio thinking, "Shit, that was my only opportunity to ever tell that Civ story."
I'm gonna say the Gandhi Civilization thing.
Is bellicose? That's the type of cat from the movie Cats.
And the kind of veins old people get.
What a good word.
And a beautiful name for a little girl.
I'm gonna ask the same question that I did for First Blood. If Gandhi gets kicked out, is anybody clamoring for a bonus show?
No.
All right, let's go to a vote. Mike, Fitzcarraldo versus Gandhi.
Yeah, let's watch boats move over hills.
Greg?
I hope we're not ruining our show, but I'm going to go with Fitzcarraldo.
Fitzcarraldo moves on. Your number 31 seed is Cat People, the Paul Schrader remake of a horror movie. Your number 4 seed is a remake of The Thing from Another Planet.
Simply called The Thing.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Some of those words out of the title. Yes. They're both remakes of classic Hollywood horror movies. One is John Carpenter. The other is Paul Schrader.
Man, The Thing from Another Planet. probably the dumbest movie you've ever seen. But just cut out from another planet. That's so scary.
But Greg, where could it be from?
It could be from anywhere.
Also, listeners of our other podcast, Superhero Show, this is not about Ben. This is not a Ben Grimm biopic.
Yeah,
which would
it's not
be amazing.
the clobbering blue-eyed thing.
Not clobbering time.
The ever-loving blue-eyed.
The ever-loving from Yancey Street.
From Yancey Street.
This is essentially a Slam AD, right?
Yes,
the thing.
We can move on.
Yeah.
Greg, if you're done with me and Mike's bit, we can just say something. Thing moves on. Thing might.
It
take
is
the
a
whole
pretty
fucking
grim
thing
movie,
down.
though.
Oh, damn.
Your number 47.
I heard it rocks.
Mike.
He looks like he's made of rocks.
I think I'm out.
Your number 47 seed is Death Trap. Let's try to remember back from last week where
we talked
I want
about.
to say Sidney Lumet.
That's
Michael
right.
Caine.
There's like a
Michael
basket with a
Caine.
head.
It's like
on
a
it.
comedy. It's like Clue. I think it's like Clue, but before that, like a whodunit comedy.
Man, there's nothing better than going to see a movie and then finding out that your movie had a different ending than the rest of everybody's viewing
That's
of
exciting. I think last week, Ryan, you called Death Trap the Who's Gonna Do It or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not a
that was
whodunit.
intriguing.
Who'll do it?
Who will do it?
That's up against Diner, which is Greg's pick.
Oh, Diner.
Yeah. As much as I love Spoking Your Guys' Wheels, and I would love to vote against Greg, I think it has to be Diner.
It's a big movie.
Your number 7 seed is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, a 7th seeded movie. Number 26 is I thought would be the 7th seed. It's 48 Hours.
Yeah, 48 hours.
Now, Greg, are you just trying to avoid all horror movies?
No, I'm not trying to avoid Halloween 3 season of the. Well, like, aside from it being shitty, no. The movies that I'm most afraid of from this season are not skippable.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're like I'm not super worried otherwise. I have an aversion beyond being afraid of horror movies. I also find them like kind of gross and sort of depressing in a way.
Icky? Ookie?
Yeah,
Icky and
just,
Ookie?
there's an energy to a lot of them that kind of I find depressing. But that's not why I want to get rid of this. I'm just genuinely not interested in it.
And I think that Halloween 3 is an important horror movie. I think 48 Hours is an important 82 movie. Like,
Yeah.
the race relations in that movie is something we're going to have to really deal with.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do you think they deal with radios and who is and is not allowed to touch them?
No, I mean, no, it's not as important as Rush Hour. But 48 Hours is, I'm sorry, Eddie Murphy and I cannot remember his co-star.
Gary
Nick
Busey.
Nolte.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though
The
I knew that's
dramatic
what
Gary
you were
Busey.
doing, I couldn't know the answer to a question and not say it.
Don't raise your hand, Greg.
Mike, Halloween 3 or 48 Hours?
Season of that witch.
48 Hours moves on. You could actually write down Halloween 3 for a bonus episode.
Already did.
Here's a real Sophie's Choice.
Eh.
It's Rocky 3 versus Sophie's Choice.
It's got to be Sophie's Choice. We're just gonna this feels like the most random Rocky movie. This really isn't the Russian one,
No.
No, that's 4.
man. Because couldn't you
But-
go for a movie where an American beats up a
I
Russian?
think we did the year that
that
movie was
Geist?
in, and it didn't make it far at all.
No,
Didn't even make it in the bonus. Maybe we didn't do bonus episodes yet.
You know what?
Uh,
I'm going to make an adjustment here because we kicked out First Blood so unceremoniously. I'm going with Rocky 3.
That's where I'm feeling is Sly will come after us, and
Yeah.
I know his title is The Expendable, but I think we are.
and I'm not gonna fight it because I don't think it's gonna make it past the next round.
Plus, I mean, you had your heart set on Sophie's Choice. Get the fuck out of here.
My favorite part of any show
I'm
is
that
Greg
guy.
saying, "I'm not gonna. Who cares? Because next round," and he does it until it's the final, and he's like, "Wait, what?"
All right, last unicorn, Mike. How much do you want to fight for this one? It's going up against E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Come on, I
That's how
can't
much?
fucking fight against ET.
Even with all the fireballs.
Fireballs, unicorn waters, bad wizards, cages. Let's see.
We did Color Purple and AI as bonus shows,
Mm-hmm.
like Patreon shows, I think. Is this the first Spielberg potentially in the 8?
I
Yeah,
think
because
so.
Hook too. Don't fucking forget that Hook we did.
Oh, yeah. Hook was also a Patreon because he's our classic Patreon guy.
Yeah.
Always a bridesmaid.
Well, this time he's gonna maybe do more than just make it, Ryan. No spoilers.
This might be his time. Number 51, an upset against Piranha 2: The Spawning, is The Year of Living Dangerously.
Oh hell yeah!
Number 46, an upset against Creepshow, is Swamp Thing. Guys, Daniel Day-Lewis or the Daniel Day-Lewis of superheroes, Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing.
It's got to be the Year of Living Dangerously. I mean, I don't know how they're going to capture the whole year, but that should be interesting to see.
Do you remember when it was the trend, like, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 years ago, where you would take a picture of yourself every day and just, like, go through the year? That's what I think this movie will be.
One small scene from each day of a year.
Mike, do you want to fight for Swamp Thing? Did you vote for Swamp Thing?
Yeah, I mean, I did shout it. I don't know if voting was open when I did that.
The voting was not open. You can take that back for sure.
I guess I'll vote for a Year of Living Dangerously.
Is this why Bart Simpson's not becoming president? Because I'm not actually going into the booth?
Oh, no.
What happened?
My favorite movie of 1982, The Verdict, is up against Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, okay. The Verdict that's one that should definitely be a bonus because it could actually take down Moody's. And at the end of it, we could be like, damn, this could have done some numbers in the regular show.
Bruce Willis is in it.
But like Fast Times, that's bigger than 1982, isn't it? I mean, it's almost up there with like E.T. for name recognition of movies.
I mean, think about it like this. Don't name movies from 82. Name movies from the 80s.
Yeah.
And you say Blade Runner, E.T., Fast Times.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for us to dig into
Whoa, Mike. Nope.
Whoa, hang on, buddy.
You're not going Alan Rickman on this segment.
Stop there.
Clear
you have a bubble in your throat. Either point out that you have the bubble in your throat or clear it out, but don't just continue talking.
You're just going to have that. You're going to say that sentence like you didn't have a bubble in your fucking throat.
I'm just going to have my voice recorded while this is going on. Going out to all our listeners. Bubble in my throat. I have some
important things to say about Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
But do continue.
I'm very excited to dig in with you guys how the fuck Sean Penn wandered into a completely different movie than his character is in. It's bananas. It's so jarring. It makes no sense.
I think that there's a lot of 80s movies like this where like you come up with a skit character, basically, and you're going through the 180-page script and you're trying to cut 60 pages and you're like, well, this guy clearly has to stay. You know, you see that a lot. You see that in like sometimes it's horrifying ways, like the Asian guy from 16 Candles, who has nothing to do with the movie, but they were like, yeah, but
imagine
Asian,
he's doing the voice. And his name, wait till you hear the name we gave him.
Spicoli.
Anyway, he'll be played by a human person.
All right, so Verdict moves up to number 1 bonus show because we can't kill Fast Times.
Grease 2's there, so.
I just, we could get away with the First Blood thing. You know, we sidestepped Gandhi and Sophie's Choice, but this would be just nutty to not do this movie. And plus, it won't be a drag to watch it, except for the parts where we're like, ooh.
But I do want to talk to you guys about, like, the whole... like the sex scene and how it's gross but realistic, the abortion scenes. Like I'm excited for that show.
Yeah. And I don't remember. I've seen the movie one time and I don't remember that much about it, so it'll kind of be like a reimagining or a reintroduction to it.
The final matchup of the second round is your number 11 seed Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Woo!
In an upset from last round, Veronica Voss, the Rainer Werner Fassbinder movie, made it up against Pink Floyd The Wall. One is a movie, the other is a pop-up video MTV show, I guess.
Yeah, but it was so big, though.
About a band who only fucking dorks like.
Okay, but like almost all dorks like, so that's a lot of people.
That's true.
Yeah. The Wall is a great album. It's an okay movie. What's it going up against again?
Veronica Voss. So hot. Want to talk to the Heine. Because we're always trying to reserve these spots. I do think that Veronica Voss has an angle on, maybe not guaranteed, but the come and see position.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking here, that like we kind of have an opportunity because Ryan is right. I want to defend Pink Floyd because I love Pink Floyd, but like it's not really a movie. It's like a movie music experience.
And I like that seems like a perfect bonus show because we don't have to do all of the bullshit that we do for like movies that we care about.
Yeah.
Like we could like come in, get high, get drunk, and talk about Pink Floyd's The Wall for the first time anybody's ever done that. Talked about
Let's
Pink
just
Floyd.
fucking watch Laser Floyd and do a show about that.
But I think Veronica Voss is the movie.
You know I can't go back to the planetarium, Mike. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting show, and we could talk in part about like, is this a movie? Like, were we silly to kick it? And I think instead we're gonna be like, I'm glad we watched it, but this was a smart move.
Which I think was the overwhelming opinion on Tommy when we did that show. Is we watched it, not sad that we kicked it out.
Sure did watch it.
Mike, Pink Floyd versus Veronica Voss.
Veronica Voss.
Greg.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is our dark horse for like really good movie that changes our lives that we had never heard of before the show started.
And then there were 16.
Woo!
And we're done, right? That's it?
When we come back, every decision we make means one movie is going home forever or a bonus show. And the other movie is going to be one of the Elite 8 for the movie of the year 1982. Let me tell you guys, we're going chalk here, but it's still going to be fun to talk about with you guys. Let's take a break. All right, we're back. I need to talk to both of you, but Greg, you're going to understand that I'm mostly talking to Mike here.
All right.
We're done with the fucking bullshit, dude. This is it. Stop joking around. Stop making prank votes.
Ryan, I've never made a prank phone call. I've never made a prank vote. I don't understand what jokes is. Grease 2 gets my vote.
We're going to see it right now when we do number 1 Blade Runner versus number 17 The Dark Crystal.
I've been voting against the Dark Crystal this whole fucking time.
Yeah,
Blade Runner.
Yeah, but now, like, isn't it classic Mike to be like, you know what, now, Dark Crystal?
I don't think so. You're really fucking flattening my character out.
Now, again, I think we talked about this last episode. It's very important to me, like, are the rules of the show, and I don't think they are, because I don't think we've done this, but, like, we can watch the best existing version of Blade Runner, right? We're not bound to the 1982 producers' hacked up version of Blade Runner, because it's a huge step back if we do that.
It's a good question, honestly, because we don't want to watch a dumber movie than what's available.
Are we going to watch the E.T. where they took out the shotguns? Because that's the newer one. We wouldn't even consider watching the newer one if it sucks, right? Because when didn't he like recut E.T.?
Yeah, so they fire flashlights into the air.
Those are fucking cool flashlights.
Flashlights become very big in America after that movie.
I do think, like, honestly, I think what me and Greg are gonna do, probably not
watch
Mike.
Both.
Yeah, we're just gonna do both.
Sorry,
we should if you have time, we should watch them because a lot of times you see a director's version of a movie and you're like, it was longer, but was it better? I guarantee with this one, you'll be like, okay, that is way, way better.
And also, if you've seen the best Blade Runner possible, you can't forget about it when you watch the 82 version.
Yes, yeah. And there's just like Blade Runner is so much a vibe, and it's so much ambiance, and it's so much like, look at these cool practical effects.
It's barely mid at all.
How based would it be?
It's based AF, okay? FR. But so yeah, it's got to be Blade Runner, and it's got to be just whatever best version. Because this is also the version Ridley Scott would have made if producers didn't get up in his grill. So Blade Runner
up in his guts.
Number 8 is Tootsie. Number 9 is Das Boot. And I know that we need our come and see, and Das Boot might be it. But I'm thinking, like, let's get 82 as fuck, and Das Boot is sort of timeless. You know, it's sort of like it could have been made at any point.
Yeah.
Whereas Tootsie, like, we're gonna get a real serious impression of 1982 with that one.
Yeah, and I feel like we've gotten a good sampling of Dustin Hoffman, the original Hoff that one must not hassle. And I feel like it might be interesting to see him in this role with that in mind, like his whole career in mind. I'm way more excited about the prospect of seeing Das Boot by a billion, though, personally. Like, that's kind of tipping it for me.
Dark Crystal's gone.
Yeah, forever.
Oh, what?
But I would say no matter who wins, we all lose. And whoever wins in this one, the other one should be a bonus episode.
I'd agree with that.
Or a boat us episode.
I don't get that. What do you?
Wait,
why
does
would
Das
not be bonus?
Boot mean the boot?
This means the boot. Yeah.
Oh, I understand. All right, let's go, Mike. Tootsie or Das Boot?
Tootsie. Yeah. Oh shit! Just the sound effect almost won me over there. But I'm gonna stay true to Greg. I really do. Das Boot is for me.
Tootsie moves on.
Yeah.
Das Boot is a definite bonus. Oh man, number 20, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh man.
Oh man.
No more needs to be said. It's going up against number 4, Poltergeist.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah. Again,
I thought I'd finally see Khan.
Poltergeist just like feels like bigger than the movies of 1982. It feels like my whole childhood was hearing reference to this very scary movie that I'm afraid to watch.
Poltergeist moves on. Now we can mix it up into bullshit because number 37, Missing, Jack Lemmon's Ransom is going up against Fitzcarraldo. So now we can just do whatever we want, right?
Yeah, right? There's no one like that. Just like
there's no guilt about
it.
No, I loved pushing this stupid boat against every other movie, but I I'm a lemon head.
Like Evan Dando?
I'm like Evan Dando.
I know Mike loves his lemon parties, but I really do. I think I want to see this Werner Herzog push a boat up a hill. I mean, I'm not even totally sure why you take a boat up a hill. Water is usually like...
It's for the water, right?
Yeah.
Just to see if we can do it.
If you keep going down hills, eventually you'll hit water. If you keep going up, you're just like way more of a crapshoot. You might not encounter...
Haven't heard the legend of Sky Ocean, Greg?
I have not heard of the Legend of Sky Ocean.
Yeah,
well, that's why people used to live thousands of years, because there's the Sky Ocean.
Oh, the firmament?
Read the Bible.
Oh, okay, well, it's called the firmament.
Oh, you have.
Mike.
You have.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Created a hyperbaric chamber over all of the world, which is why creatures grew super big and people lived hundreds and hundreds of years old. It's pretty widely known stuff.
It's science.
You guys done with your science talk? In our 1985 season, there was a Kurosawa movie. And we grabbed the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know, based on how the show works, if we can ever see another Kurosawa movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that here.
We were so smart to do that.
It wasn't
yeah,
cool
that was a good
Ron?
That was Ron.
Yeah, all night and day.
I mean, I would say it's Brian, and Greg, and Mike, but Ron had some say, I guess. I think that this is the same thing with Herzog. I think that we have to grab the opportunity.
Let's do it.
Fitzcarraldo moves on.
Grab him by the boat.
Finally, Diner, which made it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Is up against your number 2 seed, The Thing.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What if the movie was Kurt Russell and a dog at a diner just talking things out about marriage?
Now, does The Thing treat Alaska or Antarctica or whatever like a diner? Like, we're sort of getting both,
It's
right?
just chilling there. This is my hangout spot.
Eating a bunch of people? Does it eat people?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not going to spoil.
Is
there a thing behind me?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is said The Thing.
A dog with laser eyes just jumped up behind you.
A dog-shaped squirrel.
Look how patiently she's just waiting. She's like, eventually he will turn around and give me attention.
Your dog is so small, Mike. That's insane.
She's tiny.
Well, she's in the background.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. It's got to be The Thing. I mean, there's no... The Thing was one of those where you knew that there was going to be a show as soon as you saw it on the list.
Mike?
Thing.
Your next matchup is number 26 seed 48 Hours versus number 10 seed Rocky 3.
I don't want to see this Rocky movie. And 48 Hours, I think, as Ryan said, that's a really low seed for 48 Hours. And do you think it's because there's a lot of race comedy in it?
I think that, like, you watch it and...
Is that going to suck for us? Like, is it going to be awkward to be, like, constantly, like, trying to pick through conversations about that?
It is, but, like, I like the challenge of trying to figure out what is comedy, what is, or, like, attempted comedy, at least. What is, we're trying to, like, depict how things work. You know, sort of like reading a James Ellroy novel of, like, how accurate
I just can't wait to hear more of Ryan's Pitch Perfect Nick Nolte. So,
guys, I have to leave real quick, so somebody else is going to take over hosting the show.
Oh, who could it be?
Nick Nolte is there. I think you should make Rocky 3 because that was pretty good. I saw that.
Every time you do that impression, I just imagine the mugshot that he's got.
Every time I do the impression, I imagine Tom Leykis. Do you remember that show?
Oh, my gosh. Tom Leykis.
I thought you were going to trip us up and come back as Eddie Murphy and really fuck with their heads.
I mean, I think you should say Rocky 3. Rocky 3 is it. Guys, both of you, get out of here. Slide. Nick, thank you for coming. But,
you're going to make it hard to make our choices independently if you're breathing down our necks.
No, I understand.
48 hours,
so
though,
hot.
right? I think I would rather be like, oh, man, this is a little difficult to talk about than talk about Rocky 3.
I agree. Mike,
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Ow.
It's true, but he shouldn't say it.
E.T. Extraterrestrial
That
versus YLD, The Year of Living Dangerously.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
This is what happens. You get up against, the biggest movies ever made. Every year has got like 8 of them, and then they take out the other ones.
Please stop pointing out how these intro shows are pointless. Greg.
No, we've done a lot of stuff that's made it interesting. I just, you get to like some of these matchups, and it's just.
And the problem is how brackets work is that if E.T. wasn't on your half, then maybe you would have made it. But
Yeah.
E.T. was on your corner or eighth or whatever,
Right.
so you're fucked. That's just it.
When we looked at, because we just did the finale episodes for last season, and when we looked at them, some of the movies had absolute cakewalks. Like they were never once challenged. Right. So there is a way to waltz up into the 8th spot.
As if you were some sort of Mr. T.
Mr. T, some sort of Clubber Lane.
Is that what they called E.T.? Mr. T was my father.
Please. I'm E.T., the extraterrestrial. Anyway, do you have any beer? I am parched from this interstellar journey.
He's underage, man. Don't give him beer.
That movie would be different if he just sounded like a 30-year-old dude.
He's Alf.
Lock up your daughters and your cats. Alf is on the prowl.
And you know he likes to eat pussy.
All right, so it's very clearly late in the night. We're going to wrap up the show real quick. The final battle, I totally forgot that whatever wins these battles, that's a show. Like,
not me. You said it. You said it at the top of the
Yeah, you said it so ominously.
But I said it so hard that it left my brain and went into your guys' brains. That's how talking works.
Oh, I wish I could do that. As a teacher, that would be so great. If I could get this information that I don't even really need anymore out of my brain.
Dad.
Now all the kids are like, well, I know how to get an A on the essay.
You know what the problem with this is? Dads.
Greg's dad.
Why don't they leave us alone? We'll lead our own lives.
Mike, your number 43 seed is Veronica Voss.
Such a hottie.
And I say that to you because I want you to write it down on a list.
A list of also-rans.
Because our come and see is Fitzcarraldo this season. That's going to be a fact because it's up against Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Does anybody want to argue for Rainer Fassbender?
No.
I love your podcast.
It's just hard because we talked up how big Fast Times was. I think if you were like, which would you rather watch right now? I would definitely rather watch that other one.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works. We have to represent the year, and we did a lot of like, well, we want to avoid Gandhi. We want to avoid First Blood. After a while, it's like you gotta fulfill the brief, though. You know, you have to.
You
represent.
only get so many cards.
Yeah, you only get so many ducks.
And Sylvester Stallone isn't in Fast Times, so we can't easily kick it out.
Also, I'm guessing Fast Times is like 88 minutes long.
Oh, yeah. Always got to remember that.
Yeah.
And we do have a rule, right? Like, or we should make one where we can no longer go longer than the movie. However long the movie is, we have to stop at that minute. Gentlemen, we have our 8 movies.
We've done it.
We did not go chalk because Rambo First Blood is not there. And Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is not there.
See, that validates the entire process. Like that's why we do it. I think that's why we go through the thing, even though
we put our pants on and come to work.
The
every
top
morning.
6 kind of make it. Like we managed to weed out those ones that we had zero interest in.
Now, Mike, I will do a Halloween 3 bonus show with you,
and I will do one with you.
And I will not do First Blood.
Okay.
I guess
will you do Last Blood?
If you two demanded it, I would be on it because I can't have people hang out without me.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah. He'll get so mad.
Greg and Mike were watching movies and talking about them on a podcast. Ryan will just like Kool-Aid Man through the wall. See, that's why we need this guy here.
Your 8 1982 movies are as follows: Blade Runner, Tootsie, Poltergeist, Fitzcarraldo, The Thing, 48 Hours, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Gentlemen, does that feel like we have 82 nailed down?
Yes.
There's so few human-based movies. They're all fucking aliens and robots. I love it.
Or like Fast Times is like high school as remembered by adults or like imagined by adults.
Yeah.
So even that feels like it's not actually about reality. But I think we did it. I mean, those are movies I am interested in, kind of afraid of, and I definitely think one of those movies could win Movie of the Year.
I mean, I think that's a good
yeah,
call. And
right,
Mike, you're gonna not take that bet. You're gonna take the under on one of those movies winning.
Night Shift is gonna win Movie of the Year.
Well, gentlemen, this has been a blast. But
should we all guess what we think's gonna win?
Yeah, go for it.
I am going to say I think Blade Runner is gonna win because I'm gonna work hard on that.
I mean, you do have. I mean, imagine being a third of the voters in the country. Like, you get a lot of say on how
the
things
dream.
work.
That'd be pretty nice.
Mike, do you have a prediction?
At 2.
Oh, okay.
ET 2.
I thought you were going to say Night Shift. I'm not going to reveal because that's bad podcasting.
Bad podcast.
But no, you could pick one that you don't think is going to win, I'm sure.
Oh, The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal.
And honestly, when I'm thinking about crystals, I don't want the Dark Crystal. I like Crystal Light. It's delicious juice from the 80s.
Powdery ass bullshit.
Most of the juice from the 80s came to you in powdered form.
Yeah.
Every episode, we should imbibe a different 80s specific
They're all so
treat.
gross, man. You want to drink some Sunny D while we do these shows?
It's all
Yes, no, I want the purple stuff.
Mike, it's literally all powders that you add water to.
Yeah, what flavor
Even-
powder do you want?
Even orange juice was like this weird
Coke.
can of frozen orange juice
Yeah.
that you would add a
Oh.
whole bunch of water to.
No, I know that's what I thought orange juice was until I was 15, my friend.
mean,
That's
there's also-
called growing up poor.
There's also Ecto Cooler that we could be drinking, or, of course, the juice based on 48 hours, 48 ounces, where the commercial went like this.
I'm Nick Nolte. I drink 48 ounces of juice.
Man, Nick Nolte's got to go to the hospital.
And I'm Eddie Murphy.
CNN.
That is our show. That is our 8 movies. I believe next week, gentlemen, Blade Runner is coming out.
Starting with Blade
We're
Runner?
starting with Blade Runner.
Robert
That
Patrick
seems
is going to
fucking
love that.
crazy.
The original Blade Runner.
So thank you so much for listening. Thank you, you two, for not only being here tonight, but also competing for the next 8 weeks for my love and support. I love
Yes.
that about you two.
Yeah.
And
I love that you think it's only 8 weeks.
I know. Remember when we designed this like tight podcast and it just fucking blurped everywhere?
That's because we were like,
Deficit.
here's what we're going to do. We're only going to watch and talk about 8 movies. And then when we start cutting movies out, we're like, okay, well, we will watch and talk about 8 additional movies.
Here's what we're doing. Next week, for Patreon people only, they're going to hear a 16-movie bracket where only 4 movies survive, and that's it. That is all the bonus episodes we're doing. Not 7, not 9, 4.
I have 27 bonus
I know you
episodes
do,
written
Wes.
down.
Some of them were dumb, Mike. Some of them you wrote down and it was like, why?
17 of them are Grease, too. But anyway, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much, Greg. My name is Ryan. And, of course, keep watching those goddamn